Recording in progress.
Hare Krishna. Can everyone see the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you all switch on your videos? Okay, let's start with Mangalacharan prayers. Am I audible? Hare Krishna. Yes. Om Jnana Timiran Dasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Romapada Swaminiti Namini. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namini. Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakata Damadaya Nagara Gramatarini. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarini Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I welcome everyone for the book reading. This will be a summary of the book, The Perfection of Yoga. So this is there are many cover page for this. This is one. So there are very few chapters only. There are 8 chapters in this book, and Prabhupada has given it like a very simple way. The language is very simple, and it also gives you the summary of what is yoga in various dimensions and how to perfect the yoga. So before we start the chapter, anyway, this was done, the previous book also was part of perfection, and it was also dealing with chapter 6, that is Dhyana Yoga only. So, but here there are more to the, other than the Dhyana Yoga, we are also going to deal little about the Karma Yoga as well as Bhakti Yoga. So this is overall yoga. So that is what, so let me hear 1 or 2 definition of yoga. Can anyone say the definition of yoga? What is yoga? Hare Krishna. Just be like very free with me. There is nothing like you need to raise your hand and all, because I won't be able to see here also. You can unmute and quickly answer 1 or 2 answers. Then we'll proceed to the chapter 1.
Connection to the God. It connects to.
Connects. Okay. Anything else? Yoga.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, it's the controlling of body and mind, and thus to free from the material entangle and fix the mind and the supreme.
Thank you, Mataji. That was a complete, more complete. And now we need a who is God? You know, to connect with God, but we should also know who is God and who is the absolute truth. So that is the first part of any yoga system. So that Prabhupada actually defines more clearly that properly here in this book, and also the right method of connecting to God and who we are. We are already aware in the first two chapters itself that who we are in Bhagavad Gita. So here Prabhupada deals more about who is God, who is the absolute truth, and how to connect with God. So that is the main thing. Now let's proceed to the chapter 1. In the very first chapter, Prabhupada names it as Yoga as rejected by Arjuna. So which type of yoga that Arjuna is unable to perform? So directly he comes to the topic of in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna teaches Arjuna the perfection of yoga. We all know how to connect with God, how to work in alignment with the will of God, like that. Just a minute. Close the window. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay, so in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna teaches Arjuna the perfection of yoga. This perfection of yoga was taught in the middle of a battlefield, and Arjuna, being the warrior, he has to engage in a battle, and he heard the explanation of the meditational yoga system of how to sit down, how to keep the body straight, how to keep the eyes half closed, how to gaze at the tip of the nose without diverting one's attention, all these being conducted in a secluded place alone. All that Krishna is teaching him, the Dhyana Yoga. Okay. But for that, Arjuna is replying, Yo ayam yogastvaya prokta samyena madhusudana etasyakam na pashyami chanchalatva sitim stiram. O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me. For the mind is restless and steady. So this is what he's saying, that it is impractical. This system of Ashtanga Yoga, that is the eight stages of perfecting the yoga, that is through the mystic yoga method, the Ashtanga Yoga, is very difficult for me. It is impractical. It is unendurable for me, because he says that my mind is restless and unsteady. So our mind is subject to agitation. Here, the word Madhusudana indicates that the Lord is the killer of the demon Madhu. So Arjuna says that my mind is much stronger than this demon Madhu. And please, if you could kill Madhusudan, the demon, then it would be that, and my doubt, it would be possible for me to execute this yoga system. So he is directly addressing Krishna as Madhusudan, that you have killed the demon Madhu. Same way, please kill the demon or kill my this restless nature of my mind. Please establish my mind in the proper situation. So he is saying that my mind is agitated. So please help me. So that is the first step that Arjuna is taking to requesting Krishna for help. And then continues by saying that mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, chanchalam, pramati, balavadridam, and it is very difficult to control than the wind. The mind is very difficult to control. And Arjuna says that controlling the mind is more difficult than stopping the wind from blowing. One can imagine a man stretching out his arms trying to stop a hurricane. So can anyone stop a hurricane? It is not possible. It is a very difficult, very impossible. It can be an impossible task to stop a hurricane by a single man's endeavor. So same way, Arjuna here says that controlling the mind is more difficult than stopping the wind from blowing. So when this is what he is presenting. So in text 33, this is what he's saying, that this is impractical, unendurable. Yoga described by Lord Krishna from text 11 to 32, Arjuna is rejecting it. This yoga is impractical, unendurable, mind is restless and unsteady. So what is the application for this is, the characteristic of Kali Yuga is what we have to see. Characteristic of Kali Yuga. Can anyone read those 3 points? What are the characteristics of Kali Yuga? Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I'll speak.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Mataji, one of the points is that here the longevity is less, and the not like the previous ages when the people were able to perform the austerities and meditation. In this age, the easiest way is for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who delivered this age by giving the Sankirtana Mahamantra. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
so Kali Yuga points given here, 3 points are there. First is short duration, longevity. Second is they are not serious. People are not serious about self-realization. And they are not even simple practical things also they cannot understand. They are very, they are not serious at all. And what to speak, this difficult yoga system which regulate the mode of living and manner of sitting, selection of place, detachment of the mind from material engagement, all this is very impractical. It is not practical for them. And now Arjuna's capabilities, that is actually kept next to the, in this green box. If you see, that is Arjuna's capabilities. What are the capabilities given here? Can anyone read? He is super excellent in compared to all the men of Kali Yuga. Next.
He belongs to the royal family and a great warrior.
And
He had great longevity, and above all, he was the intimate friend of Lord Krishna.
He had a long life. He can live longer than us. And he is born in a Kshatriya family, not like this Kali Yuga people who are all born Shudras. And he is an intimate friend of Lord Krishna. Then what other points?
If Arjuna rejects, what to talk of modern man?
Okay, so all these points are there, and then it is said here that if he rejects this Ashtanga Yoga, then how can we follow that? Now, modern day yoga practices deals with what? Modern imitation yoga schools condemned because they are completely ignorant of the desired goal of actual yoga system. So the modern day yoga schools, they are not aware of what is the real goal of yoga, whom they are trying to connect to, or whom finally they are, yoga means we said connecting to the Supreme. So who is the Supreme? What is the goal of life? They are totally unaware. So this is a description of the that impractical and unendurable preaching application. Now let us see that in few, what are the 3 yuga, what we are supposed to do in this yuga. This is given in 12th canto Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, 52 sloka. Anyone knows the sloka? Krite yadhyayato Vishnum. Can anyone recite? Okay, let us do together. Krite yadhyayato Vishnum tretayam yajato makaihi dvapare paricharyayam kalau tad harikirtanat. So Satya Yuga, what we could do, how we could realize God is through meditation process, Satya Yuga, that is Dhyayato. Treta Yuga, how we can reach God is by performing sacrifices, that is Yajato Makai. Dwapara Yuga, what is the process? Is serving the Lord's lotus feet, Paricharyayam, or you can even say Archayam. Archa means, Archana means by worshipping the deity form of the Lord, by having temple worship. And the last is Kalauta Hari Kirtanat. What is Hari Kirtanat? Chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is the process for Kali Yuga. So this is established in the Shastra. Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit, in the golden age Satya Yuga, they were living for 100,000 years. People were living for 100,000 years, and they were very advanced people living for lengths of time. They were able to execute the meditational process, Dhyayato. And that same thing that was achieved in the Satya Yuga can be achieved in the Treta Yuga by great sacrifices, and Dwapara Yuga by temple worship. And the same thing what the Satya Yuga people achieved can be achieved in the Kali Yuga by the simple process of chanting the holy name, Hari Kirtana. So that is what we are supposed to do. So this chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is the embodiment of perfection of yoga. So that is what Prabhupada writes in the first chapter. And the conclusion of this first chapter of perfection of the yoga, this book, Arjuna gives reason why this yoga is impractical. We saw that restless, turbulent, and it is strong and obstinate, which was mind. Can anyone read that? What are the points under restless and turbulent like the wind? 2 points are there. Can anyone read? For a man
in the practical world who has to fight so many opposing elements, it is very difficult to control the mind. Artificially, one may establish a mental equilibrium towards friends and enemies, but ultimately no worldly man can do so. For this is more difficult than controlling the raging wind.
And about strong and obstinate? Intelligence
is supposed to direct the mind, but the mind often overcomes one's own intelligence. Analogy: just like an acute infection may surpass the efficiency of medicine, a strong mind may overcome. A strong mind may overcome one's own intelligence.
Yes. So when the infection is too much, then how much ever the powerful the medicine, it is difficult to overcome the disease. Pushpanjali, your phone ringing, I think.
Can somebody unmute her? Then it's okay, right?
Yeah, but Prabhuji, some problem is there with me.
Okay. Can you mute yourself? Pushpanjali Mataji, mute yourself kindly. Okay, so this is the problem with the Kali Yuga, this current age. The disease is very widespread and the intelligence is supposed to direct the mind, but what happens here? The intelligence is covered very much by the influence of the Kali Yuga. So that is why the easiest way to control the mind is chanting Hare Krishna in this age, and Bhakti Yoga is the process recommended. Even Ambarisha Maharaja fixed his mind on Krishna, Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindayo. So he has used all his senses in Bhakti Yoga process, and thereby he could fix his mind on the Supreme. So let us go to the second chapter. Let us see the time also. Prabhu, till what time I have? 11:30.
Generally, you can take it for 90 minutes, Mataji, but you can complete as soon as.
Thank you, Prabhu. So chapter 2, Yoga as work in devotion. Okay. So Prabhupada quotes second sloka of 6th chapter, and he says that we have to be free from desire and sense gratification. To be a yogi, to connect to the Supreme, we have to be free from desire, and we also have to be free from sense gratification propensity. So these are the two things first Krishna establishes. So Dhyana Yoga, what is in like this full shloka, if you see, what is called renunciation, you should know to be the same as yoga. For one can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna asks Arjuna to become a yogi, but he never tells him to cease from fighting. One may ask how a person may be a yogi, same time a warrior. So our conception of yoga practice is that of sitting very straight, legs crossed, eyes off closed, staring at the tip of our nose, concentrating in a lonely place, sanctified place. So all this is our concept, but how is it that Krishna is asking Arjuna to become a yogi, same time participate in a ghastly civil war? That is the mystery of Bhagavad Gita. One can remain a fighting man, one can remain a householder, like all of us are all householders. We can remain in this same position according to our age, not like until the age of 70 we will remain like that. We also have to retire at that age. But what he says is you can remain a grahastha, that is possible. At the same time, you can be a highest sannyasi, you can be a yogi. So how is it possible? Through the process of Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada writes, you can fight for Krishna, you can work for Krishna, eat for Krishna, sleep for Krishna, dedicate all your activities to Krishna. In this way, you become the highest yogi. That is the secret. So International Society for Krishna Consciousness, that is ISKCON, it is intended to help the aspiring devotees to take part in these activities, to please Krishna, to do things for Krishna, working in Krishna consciousness. So there are simply not enough number of hours to be engaged in Krishna service. We have unlimited services that we can do. We can dedicate our life for Krishna. That the time is not sufficient like that. So many engagements are there, day and night, that the devotees are performing in ISKCON joyfully. So that is the way to, that while that the topic of the chapter, you can see that Prabhupada names the chapter as Yoga as work in devotion. So how to work in devotion is what he is teaching here, working in devotion. So say for self-interest, people may do so many things. And also here you can see, like for fame, for the, when there is somebody in anxiety, so they are working for all that to get relief, for fame, for wealth, like that. And then some people are working for mystic powers. Here in the Ashtanga Yoga, the yogi is trying to connect, but but what he is actually doing is, sorry. The actions people do work for so many purposes, for self-interest. But when we start acting, doing all this work, whatever we have to do for Krishna, then that becomes a work in engaged in our constitutional position. Okay, so the eightfold here, we will particularly talk about the eightfold achievements of, that yogi is trying to achieve, like Anima Siddhi, Lagima Siddhi. What is Anima Siddhi? Is they want to become small than even a smallest particle, they want to become smaller than that. And Lagima means lighter than a soft feather. So they want to get something from some place, then Prapti Siddhi, and they want to become heavier than the heaviest, that is Mahima Siddhi. So and they want to create something very wonderful, Ishitva Siddhi, and they want to control the material elements, Vashitva Siddhi. So all this, and Prakamya Siddhi, when they want to get some power which will never frustrate them, like that, Prakamya Siddhi. And Kama Vasayita Siddhi. This all Prabhupada is mentioning in this chapter. That this Ashta Siddhis, if you want to have a list of the Siddhis, what the mystic powers that the yogi, gets as an incentive in the path of his perfection, before he attains perfection, these are the mystic powers that he attains. The 8 Siddhis are mentioned in this chapter. You can go through that. And later, Krishna, even after getting all these things also, a person falls down. That's what. He is not still achieved the perfection of his yoga. So what is that we understand is, when you base your actions based on this self-interest, then he becomes, Ashanta. Ashanta means there is no peace. There is no happiness. Either still the person is restless, and he is, he keeps demanding, he keeps desiring for something more and more. But a person, a Krishna Bhakta, when he is, when a person is a devotee of Krishna, situated in the constitutional position and working for Krishna in devotion, then he becomes a, he is, Shanta, he is Nishkama, he becomes Shanta. And there is nothing that he desires other than pleasing the Lord. So we all have to learn this art of pleasing, this world, temporary world. We all know today a person may be in a very good lifestyle, good job, good marks, students, everything. But suddenly the time may change, and then the person may start getting reverses in life. So this is the way, nature of this world. So if we become attached to this and work towards that, the life will be full of frustration, and we will lose our peace. So that is why we should always be in our constitutional position, that we are the servant of Krishna and work in that platform. So then he becomes purified and he fixed in knowledge. And then finally, he is also able to, he will not come back to this world. He will reach the supreme abode of Lord Krishna. And from where we will not come back, we will not fall down like this yogis. This, the unsuccessful yogis in the other processes. This Bhakti Yoga, from the beginning, you are connected to serving the Lord. So there are, we have to work in different ways, like a Brahmana. If we are very much in that mode where we are in a Brahmanical nature is there, we want to talk, we want to educate people like that, then we are allowed to do that for Krishna. In ISKCON, we are seeing, like currently I am doing this preaching work. I want to talk about Krishna. So Gopijana Prabhu has mercifully given me the service that you talk about Krishna, Mataji, you work for Krishna. And then a person may be in an administrative post. Here it is given Kshatriya, but an administrative post who wants to lead others, who wants to become a leader, also given a, in this ISKCON, we get so many opportunities to lead the people towards doing services nicely. And then there is, here there is other also. What are the other two? Cow protection, business, doing business for Krishna, earning money and giving the money to Krishna. And then the last one is Shudra. Shudra means we can assist other people, and then use our nature or energy to our abilities in service of Krishna. So these are all the ways where we can engage our senses. We can engage our senses. Variety of activities are there which we can perform for serving the Lord. So Krishna proclaims that you are always thinking of me, Arjuna, and you are doing your fighting business. You are thinking of me. You are my devotee. You are doing everything to please me. Therefore, you are the highest yogi. So Hatha Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, all this also tells the same thing only, that we have to think of Krishna. That is the ultimate goal of all the yoga processes. In the material world, one may become very tired if he works all the time. But if one works in Krishna consciousness, he can chant Hare Krishna, engage in devotional service 24. That is the difference between a Bhakti Yogi and other yoga. Now this we are actually talking about Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means offering the results to Krishna, offering whatever we are getting through our work to Krishna. But the work itself can be Nishkama Karma Yoga. That is actually Bhakti Yoga. Nishkama Karma Yoga, without any personal motive. Why we are doing this work? It is only the work itself is given to us by Krishna. That way, and along with that, when we are working and chanting Hare Krishna, doing Bhakti Yoga activities morning and evening, and dedicating our work for Krishna, then it becomes never becomes tired and boring at all. Can anyone share how their life has never been boring after coming in touch with Prabhupada movement, ISKCON? Can anyone share? how they have become, so they are full of happiness. They never get tired. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, please share.
Yeah, Mataji. It's only when going through Bhagavad Gita, we realize that after how many years that we got this consciousness and opportunity to utter the name and serve Krishna. Then this realization actually came because of Prabhupada's mercy.
No, my question is, you are engaged now in Krishna service and doing your household work also. Are you feeling tired, boring, or how are you feeling? Every day you are in chanting and doing everything for Krishna. So as the life changed, are you feeling better, or you are same boring? Are you feeling like that?
No, Mataji, actually the meaning or the purpose is there when we understood that thing, no, that we are doing something for Krishna. Then it becomes energetic. That, yeah, I am doing something perfect. My goal is...
every day is like a new day, right? You after coming to ISKCON, you feel that today is like a fresh day. I am my journey. Just I am getting closer to Krishna. That is a very exciting journey after joining ISKCON, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, never we feel tired. So that is the platform of working in devotion. Yoga as work in devotion. So this is the link that Prabhupada is given us mercifully, that through your guru, through your spiritual master, you can offer the results of your work to Krishna, and also do the work itself. Like if I am sweeping the house, if suppose I am cleaning the kitchen, cooking, everything I can do it for Krishna. Doesn't matter at all whether today somebody is pleased with it, or whether I will get some appreciation, then only I will cook. Not like that. You will do everything because you are already linked to Krishna. The services are already dedicated. It is a dedicated thing to Krishna only. Therefore, we don't become tired of our family duties. So now chapter 3, yoga as meditation on Krishna. Now the different aspect. Krishna, Prabhupada is naming this chapter as meditation on Krishna. So again, what meditation that Arjuna rejected, first let us now look at the traditional meditational yoga system. It cannot be executed in a public place. We should go to a secluded holy place. We have to leave home, sit straight, off closed eyes, tip of the nose gaze, and then undisturbed mind, not agitated mind, concentrate on the on whom we have to concentrate. Now coming to that, we should also be free from fear, free from the sex life, the interest in sex life. And then after setting up all this, then the meditation, real meditation is fixed on Krishna, the thought on Krishna or Vishnu. We should transfer our thoughts on Krishna or Vishnu. And then yogis, but in this age, we all know that we are unable to do this, but then we should also learn from this that we should not sleep more. All that also we will be looking now. Like what are all the things that we can apply in our Krishna conscious life from this Ashtanga Yoga. Only thing in this slide is we have to meditate, always think of Krishna. The yogis obviously has to go through a great deal of difficulty to purify the Atma, but it is a fact that this can be done most effectively in the age simply by chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because this transcendental sound vibration is not different from Krishna. When we chant his name with devotion, Krishna is with us, and when Krishna is with us, then what is the possibility of remaining impure? Kirtan may go on for hours and one may not feel tired, but it is difficult to sit in lotus position perfectly still for more than a few minutes. So Kirtana Mantra Yoga. So this is what is the meditation that Prabhupada is talking about. Yoga as meditation. Yoga as a meditational. What is the chapter name? Yoga as meditation on Krishna. So we are now looking at the meditational process of ISKCON, of this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is chanting Hare Krishna, dancing. You will go on doing Kirtan, For many hours you can do this, but never get tired. And because we are coming in touch with Krishna from the beginning of the process, we never become impure because Krishna is all pure. We don't have to search for a sanctified place, secluded place, sit like that, do this, do that. All that yama, niyama processes, all that is automatically achieved in this. Like for example, withdrawing the senses from nonsense. In this process, we are actually withdrawing the senses from all the Bollywood songs and other songs, and then fixing it on Kirtan. So therefore, all the things that are very scrutinizingly followed in the other yoga process is naturally very effortlessly followed in the Kirtana yoga process. So Kirtana mantra yoga is the very practical way. Yunjanyevam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasa shantim nirvana paramam mastamstam adhigacchati. By meditating in this manner, always controlling the body, mind and activities, the mystic transcendentalist attains to the kingdom of God through cessation of material existence. So we are also able to reach the kingdom of God by properly following the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. So for one who has conquered the mind, super soul is already reached for he has attained tranquility. So a very safe position is to be Krishna conscious, because being Krishna conscious, we are able to be in that platform where there is no fall down. We don't have to search for a suitable circumstance in Kali Yuga. I have seen people even in the war zone, they are chanting and being a Bhakti Yogi. And I have seen people even sitting in the most crowded places like a railway station are able to chant. What do you think, Mataji, Pushpanjali Mataji? We have been to a railway station, all crowded places, but we have been able to chant and then we feel a complete tranquility, peace of mind.
Yes, Mataji, actually, I didn't follow your question exactly.
No, what is the point is like how I'm asking your experience, how in a most crowded places also, when you are chanting Hare Krishna with their concentration, you are able to feel peaceful.
Yes, Mataji. So it's actually the practice, you can say that it's a branch of yoga, yoga ladder. By the process, we attain a state when the material world and the material entanglement and material webs, it doesn't touch you. So your mind is fixed in the supreme. Then naturally we get the peace. That peace
Yes.
of chanting.
Because Mahatma Prabhu, he guides everyone in how to chant. So he also says that how we can, even in a very crowded place or any circumstances, time, place, circumstance, once we see that Krishna is personally present in the holy name and then start chanting, you will feel as if the world is, not disturbing at all. So that is the way of attaining the, so we are connecting with the Supreme. And then now we'll go to the chapter 4, yoga as body and mind control. Now coming to how to keep our body and mind fit so that we can reach the Supreme. That is a very important subject even for the devotees. So Bhagavan Uvacha, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restlessness, but it is possible by constant practice and detachment. So 2 points Krishna says is, he emphasizes practice and renunciation, practice and detachment as ways to control the mind. And we know that what is the regulative principles? The whole the life that we are, modern life we are leading is very too much sense intelligence is there. Everyone is doing too much sense intelligence. But Prabhupada writes in this chapter that we should eat, not too little or not too much. We should eat the right amount. We should not starve like anything. That will disturb the yoga. Also, we should not eat more than required. That will also disturb the yoga. So eating process should be moderate. Moderate is very important. Because we should not focus on the tongue enjoyment. Satisfaction of the tongue means immediately we will fall down. Palatable dishes are good, but only to keep our mind and body together. We should also see that we should not sleep too much nor sleep insufficiently. And we should not have a dream sleep. We should take care that the sleep is good. This is also important principle of a devotee. And too much dreaming is cannot execute the yoga properly. And we should keep the body fit. We should not have a sleepless night. So disciplining the body is important for devotees also. So all this requirement essentially broken down by Prabhupada into 4 basic rules: no illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. These are the 4 minimum regulation for execution of yoga process. These are minimum. So Prabhupada, Krishna says, for one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work, but whose mind is controlled and strive for by appropriate means is assured of success. So the appropriate means is what we have to find out. Krishna never says it is impossible. By practice and detachment, by appropriate means. These are the keywords. Please note down, devotees. The appropriate means is the keyword. This horse you can see is unbridled, uncontrolled. But by appropriate means, a person knows how to tame the wild horse. So, if one is in Krishna consciousness, is no desire other than Krishna, it is, that way it is, a person can be a desireless person. So here Krishna says that a person has to be devoid of material desires. Then he can be disciplined. Material desires is what is making us indisciplined. So purification will start only when the sense gratification is in moderate, should be properly done in connection with Krishna. We should not focus on desirelessness, because killing desire is not possible. Desire is part of the nature of the living entity. So Krishna consciousness will purify our desires. So instead of desiring so many things for the sense gratification, we will start desiring for pleasing Guru and Krishna. So that way desire is getting purified. We saw how the desire is our main enemy. We should be free from material desire. So this is the way to attain that. And then how to discipline sense control, sense gratification is through the engaging in the process of Krishna consciousness by, we saw that by appropriate means. And by following the 4 regulative principles, we can attain the, we can curb the restless mind. So offering food to Krishna, all that process, we know that as devotees, we know that body is actually a lump of ignorance. Body is only a lump of ignorance, and senses are actually leading us to the path of death, because the senses are very voracious, especially the tongue, very difficult to control. Very difficult to control the tongue. But by offering the nice prasada of Krishna prasada, spiritual food, we can conquer the tongue. So that way, prasada is, by having it, we can full satisfaction we can get, and then also we can be purified. Not only that, we can start glorifying Krishna after eating prasada. Loudly we can glorify Lord Krishna by having prasada. So we have to offer our food, whatever we are cooking, to Krishna first, and then Krishna, being merciful, he will offer us his prasad. So all our desires, that way we will be fulfilled. So sadhu or teacher shows no mercy in using short words to sever the student's mind from material attraction. By speaking the truth uncompromisingly, is able to sever the bondage. So beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna chastises Arjuna that you are speaking a very learned words, but actually you are a very fool number 1. So if you want detachment from the material world, what we have to do is another one point which Prabhupada stresses in this chapter is, you are looking for practice is by practicing the regulative principles that way. But if you are looking for detachment, be ready to be chastised by your spiritual master. Don't go, the detachment only will come when you are ready to be what? Chastised or corrected by your spiritual master or authorities. If you are like opposing that, if Arjuna feels, oh, here, see, Krishna is chastising me, he is telling me that you are a fool, I am not your friend. You know, Krishna, I don't want to listen to you. You called me a fool. He didn't say that. He accepted that, yes, I was mourning for that which is not worthy of grief. Pandita, I consider myself as Pandita. So a Pandita will not lament for a dead thing or a living thing. He will not lament. But I am now lamenting. I am crying. I am now in a difficult position. I accept that. I don't know. I am a fallen soul. So Arjuna accepted that. Then he started applying what Krishna says, and then see here another Prabhupada, the example analogy given is fort is safe when it is defended by a great general. So Krishna is placed in the fort of the mind. There will be no possibility of the enemy entering. So enemy are, we all know that, lust, greed, all these are enemies. It is not easy to control the mind. So many desires, unwanted things in this material world. But when you keep in the fort, that general is Krishna himself, then what do you have? Any issue? That is how we can control. In chapter 5, now another perspective is yoga as freedom from duality and designation. So yoga, what is yoga? In this angle, now Prabhupada will talk about you become free from designation and duality. So we all know the dualities are there. Summer, winter season, happiness, sadness. Okay, so all this is full of, that world is full of duality. One moment somebody will praise us. Next moment they will kick us. Dishonor, honor, dishonor. So material world is full of duality. It is impossible to understand one thing if there is no opposite thing. It is not possible to understand what honor is unless I understand what is dishonor. What is miser, what is misery, we will not understand unless we get happiness. This place is like that. So as long as this body is there, we will have to face this dualities. Bodily concept. Now, what we can get out of is not the body, because we will, as long as we are in this material world, we need a body. Material body is required in this material world. But what we can get rid of is bodily concept. Bodily concept means what? We have to tolerate these dualities, summer, winter, all this tolerate. And then the skin disease, we have to, there will be always, as long as the body is there, there will be some itching will be there. We should not become mad in scratching that. We should not become mad in keep scratching, you get more blood only. So we have to tolerate in the this dualities in Krishna consciousness. We have to focus our mind in the spiritual way. That way we will be able to tolerate all these dualities. So when a person should be fully satisfied only when he is in knowledge and realization, jnana and vijnana. So only a person who has jnana and vijnana, two things, not only jnana. Jnana means knowledge. We know we are not the body. Mataji, I know I am not the body, but still I am getting affected. Why? Because we don't have the vijnana. Vijnana means realization. Only when there is a realization, we will be able to see all these things, pebble, stone, gold, everything is same. Today you show me gold and stone, I may get attracted to the gold and reject the stone because I feel they are not same. But a person who is in the knowledge and realization, he will be able to see both as same. That's what Krishna says. So theoretical knowledge alone will not help. We have to apply the knowledge. Now, so a person further advanced person will see the honest, everyone, all the people, well-wisher, friend, enemy, envious, pious, sinner, all these people also with equally. We saw that objects as equal, pebble, stone, gold, everything as equal. Here a person who is advanced in yoga should see everyone, sinful person, all as equal. A pious person, sinful person, rich person, poor person, everyone he has to see equally. So that is another important, that realization a yoga, a person advancing in yoga should get. So we should know that all the living entities around us are all only persons acting in a stage drama as our father, as our mother, as our children, as our friend, enemy. All these are all simply performances. It's a great drama with many characters playing their parts. One person may be enemy here. One person may be a friend here. So these are all the stage performances enacted by the material nature. We are attached to so many designations. I may be thinking, this is my son. Okay. And that one is not my son. I may be thinking. But do you think you can produce a son? You can beget a son? It is not possible. We are only begetting a body, Matajis or Prabhus, whoever are hearing this. Please remember that we are only able to beget a body from our body, a byproduct, a body is only coming because the soul is given by Krishna. The soul is implanted inside by Krishna. Son, we are not able to create, only Krishna's parts and parcels, we know that. It is not within our power to beget a living entity. We are only begetting or getting some emulsification of secretion, sexual intercourse. All that is happening and then only a body is formed. So the relationship between the bodies only, these are all relationship between bodies. So actually realized person who is advanced in yoga no longer see the bodily designations. They will not be attached to my son. The whole world, they will feel whoever is in need, I will help them. They will not see that this man is my son. I have to help only my child. I have to give the property to only this person because he is my son. He feels that the whole world is Krishna's part and parcel. One who is worthy of it will get it. One who is worthy of it will be my, recipient of the whatever, my property or whatever like that. So he is able to think in that angle. That realization comes like that. So that is the that chapter 5 is freedom from duality and designation. So dualities are coming in different ways. He is able to tolerate that, and bodily concept is coming. That is bodily concept is getting relieved by this application only. By this, when he is able to get the realization. So realization, all the living entities, the designation that we say that, he's my son, he is that friend, my enemy, like that. All the designations we get relieved by the proper understanding that all are part and parcel of Krishna. So that one, that properly applying the principle of Krishna consciousness, we are able to go beyond the dualities and designations. Then chapter 6 talks about fate of the unsuccessful yogi. So a yogi can be a bhakti yogi, ashtanga yogi, any yogi. But Arjuna is asking a very important question, that a person is persevering, is working very hard in the beginning, but then due to mindedness, what does it mean is attractions. This material world has so many distractions, attractions. So he may not be attaining the perfection. Then what happens to him? Unsuccessful yogi, what happens to an unsuccessful yogi? So a student is, example Prabhupada gives is, a student goes to school, but if he does not get his degree, he drops out of the school, then what is the use of his, education? He has to get a degree. So, Manushyanam Sahasreshu, Krishna also says, out of many thousands of men, 7th chapter, 3rd Sloka, Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kashya Jatati Siddhaye Yatatam api siddhanam kasya mam vedi tattvata. Out of many people who are endeavoring for perfection, some may achieve the perfection, but out of those who are achieving perfection, only hardly from that one knows me in truth. So that attaining perfection, that is disturbed because of the worldly mindedness. Arjuna is saying that he may become like a riven cloud. Like suppose a cloud, heavy wind comes, then a cloud is pushed off. So a person who is actually working towards the attaining the supreme, but he not attained the supreme in this life, what will happen to him? Will there be any position in this world? What will he get? Sometimes we also get, we are not able to keep up our rules and regulations. We are not able to get up early in the morning. Sometimes brahmachari may get attracted to a feminine attraction. So all these are impediments on the path of yoga perfection. Krishna is saying that even if you have attained 1% worth of spiritual knowledge or spiritual you will never, that 1% will remain permanent for you. I will acknowledge that sincerity of your effort. Don't worry about that. That is what he is promised in the 2nd chapter. We know that. Neha Vikrama Nashosti Sloka. Now, we should understand that we are weak and the material energy is strong. We are declared a war against the spiritual energy. We should know that, material energy. We have declared a war against the material energy. And material energy is also trying to trap us. So that it will try to trap, so that it is testing us whether we are seriously interested in spiritual advancement or not. How much we are sincere, serious and sincere, how much we are doing that. That the material energy is also testing us. It will offer more and more allurements, more and more attraction. The Maya will offer. Like an example of Vishwamitra Muni is given by Prabhupada in this chapter. Oh, he's a great king, Kshatriya. He renounced his kingdom and then he took to the yoga process to become spiritually advanced. And Vishwamitra was in that meditational yoga time, no? Satya Yuga. So that was the process recommended that time, meditation. Ashtanga, like this Dhyana Yoga. So Vishwamitra Muni was doing that meditation so intently that Indra, king of heaven, noticed him and he thought that this man is trying to occupy my post. Maybe by this he will become so qualified that he will become next Indra. Then the heavenly planets, everywhere, this is part of material world only, heaven also. So there is competition there also. No, there is fear there also. So Indra got feared, scared, afraid. And he sent one of the society girls of the heavenly planet Menaka to allure Vishwamitra Muni, allure him sexually. Then Menaka was naturally very beautiful. She was very much focused in her work to disrupt the Muni's meditation. And Vishwamitra also became aware of the Menaka's presence by hearing the bangle. And he was captivated by her beauty. As a result, Shakuntala was born. And then after that, Vishwamitra lamented, oh, I was just trying to cultivate spiritual knowledge and again I have become entrapped. So he was about to flee from there, from Menaka. And then Menaka is bringing her beautiful daughter in front of him, chastised him. But despite that, Vishwamitra left anyway. So there is every chance of failure on the yogic path. Even a great sage like Vishwamitra can fall down due to material allurement. So Muni, this one, anybody can fall down. If we are not having the right resolve, we should be determined. These failures should not become the cause for despair. Failure is the pillar of success. Prabhupada writes that spiritual life, failure is also there. but it should not discourage us from the, our sincere efforts. There is no loss. The spiritual culture, it is always auspicious, cannot be vanquished. Prabhupada writes like that. So 6.41 and 42 shloka, unsuccessful yogi after many, many years. Now Krishna promises nice things for this yogi. Unsuccessful yogi will get a birth in the family of rich people or pious people. Don't worry, Arjuna. They will get birth again in a family of rich people or pious people. And through that, he will get definitely wisdom, and he will become more, advanced from there. So we know that there are many planets in this world, in this material universe. There are many planets with long life and more, attractions are there. In fact, in the heaven planet, you can see that 6 months of 6 months in material, this Bhuloka, in the earthly planet, is equivalent to 1 day in the heaven planet. So there are many thousands of years also, the lifetime is very long. So even if a person is promoted to the higher planet, but when he comes back, he will take birth in the pious person house or in the rich person house. So Krishna is promising that a fortunate circumstance will be created for the birth chart Krishna will make. We don't, the person is not, doesn't have to make that auspicious, all that circumstance will be there in the right time, the person will be born. So again, he gets a chance to revive the divine consciousness, and he makes further progress, achieve the complete success. Okay, so good families, like, we all know the family of yogis is the best. We see that rich family is there. What happens when a person is born in a rich family? He may try to enjoy the riches, and then he may become a drunkard or a prostitute hunter. He may become anything being born in a rich family also. So it's better than being born in a rich family is birth in a pious or a Brahminical family. But even in that, a person may become proud. I'm a Brahmana. He may become a proud man. And then there is a degradation. So what is important is we should be knowing the difference that a person, when he takes birth, if a person is taking birth in a devotee family or a yogi family, that is better. That is much better. Because that way he gets a chance to cultivate the spiritual life from where he is fallen. Because he has already fallen only. That is why he is taking birth. Now, from the fallen place, he has to grow now, advance. If he is born in a rich family, what is the guarantee that he can become advanced? He may become associate with the bad people. Or in a Brahmana family, he may be feeling proud, I am a Brahmana. So better is to be born in a yogi family, a devotee family. So he become attracted to the yogic principles even without seeking them. For example, a devotee, Prabhupada was born in the devotee family, and from the childhood his parents gave him Radha Krishna Murti. He is not seeking for it, but his parents himself provided all the facilities to grow spiritually. So yoga or devotional service, only when there is a suitable circumstance like this, previous, we can think, okay, only in a devotee family we can become a strong devotee. Not like that. This ISKCON is a devotee family only. This ISKCON, this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is giving that same. We are offering a very, very beautiful circumstance for the people where one can pick up from where he was interrupted in the previous life. You can complete the yogic process and attain perfection. So we can finish. We should make it a focus for us devotees that we should complete this process in this lifetime. We should not again and again take birth again and again. Oh no, Krishna has given me nicely. He promised that I will get birth in a devotee family only. So let me enjoy now. No, that also Krishna says you should not be waste this opportunity This place is not fit for a gentleman. Any time we may commit some aparad, some offense, some mistake. Then what will happen? Is there any guarantee that we will definitely get a good birth? No. So what we have to do is we have to make our resolve that, Krishna, this life we want to come back. Please remove my anarthas. I don't want any position. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. Kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. I don't want any of this. Krishna, please help me to attain perfection in this. That is why you are attending this course, devotees. Perfection of yoga we have to achieve by this 8th chapter. Finally. Okay, we should never forget that we are, for what purpose we are here. So that is why chapter 7, Prabhupada names it as Reestablishing the Relationship with Krishna. So we know that when we get back to the spiritual world, we can become the Lord's master, his parent or friend, or accepting Lord as our master, or Lord as our child, or Lord as our husband. These are the 5 basic relationships. And we are eternally related to Krishna in this any one of this rasa. At present, our relationship is pervertedly reflected in this material world. We are, we may be thinking money is our master. That one is our master. So all these things we are thinking here. But we have to understand that Krishna is our master and our relation is out of love. Master and servant, here people think that as long as we are paid, we will be the servant. Not like that. We are servant of Krishna not because we are getting something, money or something. We are servant of Krishna because of love. And that way our relationship is eternal. We should not see that this is a slight disagreement. Some problem is there, then here the friendship will break. Not like that. Krishna's friendship is eternal. We should not break the relationship for any reason. Like if you see in this world, any dasya rasa, if you see dasya, if the person stops paying, then he will stop serving. And then now if you take a friendly relation, he is not in agreement with me, then they become enemy. Friend also becomes enemy. Then when you come to son and parent, parental relation, a son will leave home and then the relationship is cut. A son will, leave home for behind another girl, then the relationship is cut. Then if you see that husband-wife, slight difference of opinion, divorce is there. So all this relationship in this material world are temporary. This is not out of love. But when we are reaching the Swarupa Siddhi, that is our constitutional position, eternal relationship, then it is permanent. Eternally, this relationship is there with the Lord. That is master, servant, friend and friend, parent, child, husband, wife, lover and beloved. All these relationships are eternal. Actual perfection of yoga. So, dear devotees, please remember what is perfection of yoga? Is to revive our relationship with Krishna. Revive our consciousness of this relationship. The relationship with Krishna you are not achieving, then there is no perfection of yoga. But we have to attain perfection of yoga in this life. So Bali Maharaj, a very powerful king, he conquered a number of planets. Even heavenly planet people appealed to the Supreme Lord to save them, being conquered by this king. Bali Maharaj was so much elevated in the material sense. But when Vamana Dev, in the dwarf Brahmana boy role, Krishna came, approached Bali Maharaj, my dear king, I would like something from you. You are a great king, you are renowned for charity to the Brahmana. I have come in the form of a Brahmana, give me something. So Bali Maharaj said, I will give you what you want. That's all he said. I will give you what you want. That is the position we should also keep ourselves all the time with Krishna. I will give you, Krishna, what you want. What will you do with that? I'm not going to worry about that. The king is saying, What will you do with the small piece of land? Only 3 pieces of land. What will you do? Huh? But then the Lord is saying that it may be, you are saying it is small, but that is enough for me. So Bali Maharaj agreed. And then he covered the entire universe. We know that story, how he covered, Bali Maharaj covered in the 3rd step, he covered the entire universe. So now Supreme Lord is showing him favor, that this way, the Bali Maharaj is saying, my dear Lord, I have now lost everything. I have no other property. I do not have anything, but I have my head. In the 2nd step itself, he covered the universe. No. So what I will do with the 3rd step? Where I will give the 3rd step? Then he is saying, I'm having my head. Would you kindly keep your leg on my feet on my head? Step here on my head. So then Krishna was very pleased with him, and he asked, what do you want from me? Okay, you have given me the 3 steps. Now what do you want from me? Then Bali Maharaj is saying, I never expect anything from you. You wanted something from me, and I have offered you everything. Okay, so that's all. I don't want anything from you. Then the Lord said that I shall remain always as an order carrier servant in your court. Like that, Bali Maharaj's doorman, Bhagavan became Bali Maharaj's doorman. That was the thing that the Lord offered him. So that is what we should remember, that if we offer ourselves, that is what we have to do. We should not keep anything for us and give something. No, we should give everything, everything should be given to Krishna. In that time, the perfection of yoga will be attained. We should not think that this is for my interest, self-interest. Then, keep something for the Lord. No. That part for me, part for the Lord. No. The duty of the servant is to offer everything in service to the master. So that then only the perfection of yoga will be attained. So chapter 8, perfection of yoga. But when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contamination, many births after he attained the supreme goal. When one is finally free from all contaminations, he attains the supreme perfection of the yoga system. So many births it will take. That's what actually Krishna says in 7th chapter, Bhaunam Janmanam Ante. Many. Before a person surrenders to Vasudeva, he takes many lifetimes to come to this stage of Vasudeva Sarvamiti. I want to engage in your service. So in this subject, Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesha madgatena antaratmana shaddavan bhajate yoma same yukta tamo mataha. Of all the yogis who abide me with faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, that person who is worshipping me in transcendental loving service is the person who is most united with me in yoga. He is the best yogi. Highest of all yogis is Bhakti Yogi. So culmination of all yoga lies in Bhakti Yoga, rendering of devotional service. So beginning is Karma Yoga. That is fruit without fruitive result. We should not look that this is mine. We should offer the result to Krishna. So that is the beginning of the yoga. And for everyone, most of the people are in Karma Yoga platform. And Karma Yoga, through that, gradually the knowledge he develops. Yes, I am not the controller. I am not the Ishvara. Krishna is the, so that knowledge is attains, and then gradually detachment comes, and then that is called as Jnana Yoga, yoga of knowledge. And when Jnana Yoga increases in meditation on the super soul by different physical process, the mind is on him. It's called Ashtanga Yoga. Like we have to fix our mind on Krishna through the mechanical, that physical processes. That is the Ashtanga Yoga. We are not following that. But when Ashtanga Yoga ends with the culmination of Bhakti Yoga only. He fixes his mind. Samadhi is on the form of the Lord. So Bhakti Yoga is the last link in the yogic chain. The link that binds us to the Supreme Person. Final link is the Bhakti Yoga. So without the final link, the chain is useless. We need suppose you have a chain. You are going to go to a marriage function. You have to wear a necklace, beautiful ruby necklace you have. But the final linking chain is not there. You don't have that link, hook is not there. Then what is the purpose of that beautiful ruby necklace? It will be remaining in your locker only, in your cupboard only. You will not be able to wear it for the marriage function. So same way, Krishna consciousness is the last link in the yogic chain. Any yoga process to be successful, you need to be Krishna conscious. So that is given to us in the beginning. So those who are truly interested in the perfection of the yoga process should immediately take to Krishna conscious by chanting Hare Krishna, understand the Bhagavad Gita, render service to Krishna through this ISKCON for Krishna conscious, thereby surpass all the system, attain the ultimate goal of all yoga, that is love of Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any questions are there on this subject? We will address them. There are, I told you, 8 chapters are there in this book. I just tried to give you a glimpse. Of course, I tried to cover as much as I saw that important points in this 1 hour. So if anything you would like to get clarification, you can ask now. Otherwise, we can end here with the pranam mantra for Vaishnava pranam mantra and thanking the Guru Parampara. Can we end here, Prabhu? Gopijana Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu. So we have ended the book.
Yeah.
So we'll just conclude with the Vaishnava pranam mantra. Vachakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. I thank the temple management for giving me this opportunity for purifying myself to attain the perfection of yoga. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Grace. Vajay Shri Mataji ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So with this, we have completed more or less all 4 Srila Prabhupada small books. And then next week, we will plan to give you some idea of Srila Prabhupada, who is Srila Prabhupada, and what is his intents and things like. So with these small books we will be completing, and then next on we will try to take up Bhagavad Gita. Now that you devotees are seriously trying for spiritual steps, and there is a possibility that Guru Maharaj, maybe the temple management is planning to arrange a initiation program sometime in May end or early June. So before that, we would like to complete even Bhagavad Gita also. So we request you, I will send you the list, or maybe I have already sent the list. Bhagavad Gita, now we need to start at least 3 classes a week. Otherwise, we will not be able to complete in 1 month's course. So we will do a short chapter summary. So we do the chapter summary, means we are only facilitating you or encouraging you or introducing you to the chapter. But you need to go through that chapter with purports as much as possible. Okay, and then you all, I request you all to be in touch with your Siksha Gurus of Bhakti Vriksha leaders or whomsoever you feel you guiding devotees to you, so that they can give you the appropriate forms for your whether Guru Ashraya or initiation. So that forms you can fill it up. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. So we will meet on next Friday again, same time. Hare Krishna. Shall I close now? If any doubts are there, please raise the hands. Otherwise, I will close. Okay, I will close then.